Hey folks, welcome to the Gold Coast Art School. We're going to have a crack at doing turquoise. We're going to do some colour mixing. This is the first one of a whole little journey we're going to do. We're going to try and colour match this from something that you can get at any hardware shop. Got little ones, variations on colours, very useful. And somebody's paid good money to call this colour mermaid tail. So we're going to do mermaid tail today. This is part of our course that we teach. It's called the foundation course and it's the beginner's course. And the first thing people do is discover what they can do with the colours that we give them. There's only one tertiary sitting in here and there's a white and a black. Otherwise there's two blues, two reds, two yellows. Generally speaking, you can get 95% of all the colours you'd need with these primaries. We're not going to be squeezing out heaps, but we'll just be using little bits of colour. And I'll show you the preferred method of mixing. Here's the colour we're chasing, so what do you suppose that would be? It's obviously, there's a bit of blue in there, and it's not a violet blue, it's a green blue, so I'm going to use the green blue, which is phthalo blue. Good old phthalo cyanide, one of the nastiest blues on the planet. It will cover anything and everything. And because we want to green it up a bit, I'm going to use a greeny yellow rather than a warm yellow initially. Might need some warm later, we'll find out. Alright, so I'm going to use the lemon yellow. We'll obviously need some white because it's not a very dark colour, it's what you call mid to high range colour. And we'll just see we'll start with these. And I suspect there'll be a surprise colour along the way to make this one work. So don't use a brush on this. This stuff, it's oil paint, washes off with warm soapy water afterwards. Unless you're horribly allergic to it, I think it'll be fine. Okay, so we've got this, it's roughly bluey green, so I'm going to put a tiny bit of blue out, like that. That's probably 10 times more than I need, because you know how strong phthalo is. I'm going to add a little bit of yellow to that. Bit more because I know that yellow is a weaker colour than phthalo, so I'm just going to go there and mix round and round like a little colour like that. Okay, looking at that, probably too much yellow, so I'll just take a bit of that blue and we'll do another go at it. So it's getting into the colour zone that it ought to be, but obviously way too dark. So now is the time for quick wipe of the fingers. And we'll pick up some white here and bring that white into the mix. Now I was a little bit too savage with that white. There's too much white, and this is what often happens. And it's a good lesson to do this. It helps you understand that you can overcompensate when you're mixing and you think, oh, that needs a bit more red, so you put more red in. Oh, too much red and it goes all grey, so oh, what do I do? So I need to come back in tone a little bit, so I'll just start again with the blue, because the blue's the darkest. As you can see, the blue is the darkest, most strongest staining pigment of them all. But the yellow will give it a hard, the white will give it a hard time, not the yellow. Alright, so now we're pulling back. We're getting closer just by bluing that back a bit. I did two things there. By adding blue, I darkened it, which is what we wanted to do. And also, now the balance is in favour of the blue and it's getting closer to where I was supposed to be, because that yellow, you can see that little white rim there, it's also got too much yellow in it. So I'm going to see what happens if I just add a whisker of white to this blue and see if I can't get closer. So only using a little bit. Sometimes it pays when you're getting close to just tap a little excess off. You can always pick it up again and then just add a little bit at a time. Obviously that's need more than that, so away we go. That's barely perceptible. Again, I was just doing what I was talking about before, overcompensating. I should have gone in a bit stronger, shouldn't I? So here we go. A bit more white. See what happens. Getting closer. Now it's almost at the stage where I could do a test patch, but I still think it's too dark, giving it the squint test. A whisker more white, I think, is required. And mix that. Getting closer, tiny bit more. Now I think it's getting at the time where we do a test patch. Stick it on there, because that's how you're going to see. Tap, tap. Look at that. too light. I was probably right the first time. We have to go back again. Put a tiny, tiny whisker of blue and yellow. Get that green happening. Now add a bit of that. I think I went too dark then. What do you reckon? Let's find out. Woo!
Ooh,
Close.
that is very close.
Close, but if you look, can you see that? There's a bit of a crumb stuck on there. It's a piece of, oh, I know what it is. From this thing, it's a bit of goo from the lemon. Can you see this a little bit yellow?
Mm-hmm.
So what it needs then is just a whisker more blue. We have to be very careful this time because we're going in miniature increments. Big words today. Yeah, so what you do is you tap off the excess, so you've only got a tiny little bit because you know how strong blue is, and I think even with that little bit I went too strong, but who knows. Bang. Now I'm too dark. Can you see that's a bit too dark? Let's nick some of this white we were using before, put it in there. Notice how I always leave a little fingernail of what was done before, because it's interesting to find out where you went to get to this colour. It's very, very useful information, and sometimes you come across some fantastic combinations just by accident, and colours you wouldn't ever have thought you would find, and then suddenly you can work backwards and work out, oh, that's how I did that. So that's fine. Another test. Again, close, a little bit yellow, put a tiny bit of blue in there. Now, because I put blue in there, it's darkened it. I have to compensate with white. So I put a bit more white in there, tapping off the excess because we're getting close. And then in we go with that. I bet I put too much white. What do you reckon? And it's making it look yellow. Ooh, getting very close now.
Super close.
It's almost there, but I think I just have put a whisker. See that tiny bit of blue? And just see what happens if I blew that back and mix it in thoroughly and see if we... There it is.
Can't even see it. It's that
Then
good.
that's a good colour mix. If you turn it, you can see that
you can see the shine, so you can see that it's there.
Now, Uncle Chris, who used to have the art school before I did, he had this trick with the students. He'd be mixing away and then he'd go dab like that, and everybody go, oh, that's perfect. But he was actually using the only finger he had that had no paint on it, which I thought was very funny at the time, but after I saw it about 15 times, it wasn't so funny. Now, we've got a huge range of colours here. We'll go through this over the next couple of weeks, kept sessions that we do, and I'll just show you some of these beigey ones are really surprisingly complex colours. And what happens subliminally as you pick up basic principles of colour mixing, warm, cool, light, dark, and you start making more intelligent decisions when you're painting whatever the project is. Have you any questions, Jessica, who's over there?
No, I think it's all good.
All right, excellent.
Thank you.
Thanks for watching, and we'll see you again real soon. It's good to be back.
Yeah.
Been a while.
Has been a while.
Haven't been well, but I'm okay now.
Yeah.
Yes, got my Peanuts t-shirt on. I'm fine. Bye.